Okay, it's a video for the KZ DQ6 and the DQ6s, which is a set that I collaborated on. Before we continue, let me just say, dude, what the fuck are you guys doing? Are you completely lost your mind? I have to do this video is crazy. But here we go. Because you have not responded to the public, I'm going to. First, let me address what the problem is. There are 3 drivers in this set, and there's only one that's actually really functioning. And if these 2 drivers are completely disconnected, it doesn't change the frequency response, which means accurately and effectively that these are doing nothing. Let me address my portion of the responsibility. Why didn't I discover that while I was so-called tuning this set? Well, if you think about it, it's pretty clear. If I want to raise the bass of the DQ6, which is what I wanted to do, that's involving material that's behind this dynamic driver, unless it's going to be changed, but the driver change was never discussed. So that fabric, which is basically acoustic, impedance, resistance material, dampening material, is changed in the back of the pole piece of how this driver's breathing, will change its bass profile. It can elevate it, it can decrease it, depending how you do that. So I want to do that. I want to lift the bass of DQ6. I'm going to try to play with this driver. And then I want to tame down some of the things that are going on in the treble. What I'm going to want to do is change the material on this nozzle, because this is what will change frequencies 1, 2, 8K. It can go beyond that. It's very effective between 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then it seems to have less influence at 8 depending on the material. But there's a lot of different things that you can do right here. You can stick foam inside here in addition to doing different materials. There's all kinds of ways to play. There was no reason to even touch these drivers. As a matter of fact, to touch them, to get to them, there was glue all around this area, as other people have seen. So it's not really practical or possible. I was going to insert a crossover network or something in this. I was trying to retune an existing set. That I didn't discover that these are not actually doing anything, I'll say sorry for, but I didn't imagine that I'm going to have to check each driver independently and individually, that they're actually working for a set that's been out for a year, 18 months. This is a set that's been out in the wild for a very long time, and it's a retune using dampening material. There's no change of drivers. And the original version suffers from the same ills that the collab suffers from. Both have been opened. Before I continue, this is for KZ. What about me made you think that I was going to continue to keep my mouth shut? I'm puzzled by this. I've done KZ videos for years. I've smashed them in my way of talking about them. I've praised them. I've done all kinds of things. This channel is called Bad Guy Good Audio Reviews. It's not bad guy for some meme or something like that. I actually am not really a very sociable dude. And I'm being put out there and being asked questions that I can't possibly answer because I'm not in a factory in China assembling these drivers. I can't really explain to people clearly why this problem is even a problem. You can do that, but you've chosen to say nothing. And because of that, I'm doing this video. Because somebody has to say something. And did you really think that for some amount of money or for some reason that this was not going to happen? That's bad gambling, and I believe it because this is what you did, and this is very bad gambling. So you're going to be put under the light by people like Jeffrey Fries and Delta Fry and Acros, and they're going to do it to you forever. So you're either going to get better and be an acceptable, responsible company that gives consumers exactly what they paid for, or you're not. Because if this continues, you're gonna be dead. The people that are sticking by you right now are longtime fans, and they're laughing at this because the collaborators got burned, and this is what you get. There's all kinds of tribes in this hobby. I was hesitating to do this video because I don't want to give people anger fuel to come into my comment section and start bashing on a company. But you've been sitting around for, oh, by the way, this is Hi Fry Audio. Let me give him a shout out. This is my set. This is the Olina, and this is gutted completely and very, very well done. My claim about this set, I knew this was going to get open, by the way, that this contained a particular driver, and this had been machined differently than the Melee because the driver seated in the same way simply wouldn't work with the new driver that was being used, which was from the O2. It's a CNT. It simply won't work. And the nozzle had to be widened, so it's not even really the same thing. This guy took the whole freaking thing apart. He did the whole thing. The driver, look, it's a CNT driver. They did everything possible. And then somebody said, oh, it's different from the other. And then it was discovered that the drivers, that PCB in the back, have been changed stealthily over the past couple of years. And if you open up an older version of where this came from originally, you'll see blue and green stripes. And if you open a newer one, you'll see black with multiple solder points, because it can be integrated in a multiple driver configuration set easier than one with just like a left and right or a positive and negative. So there's lots of little things that are kind of trickling out because people like this exist. And if KZ doesn't change what they're doing, this stuff is going to burn you into the ground. I don't know if you think that you're too big to get burned into the ground, but you're on fire right now. You're burning right now. And I'm abandoning ship because for 3 weeks I've been separating myself from the Discord, not commenting, waiting for somebody to come out and say to me directly before a public announcement, say, sorry about what's going on. This is totally unacceptable. We talked to some people at the factory. We had a major malfunction. Well, something that I can take and give to people and say, they're going to make an announcement and they're going to address this. Wait for that. I'm not there. I can't really say. But you've not really said anything. So here's me saying something. This set should be taken down and not for sale. End of story. This should not even be listed right now because what you are saying is being bought is not what is being delivered. This is false advertising is what this is. There's stronger words that people might use in the comments. Fraud. That's a pretty big word, isn't it? Fraud. To say that something is one thing and to actually knowingly be delivering another thing, that's pretty much fraud, isn't it? And I'm a part of that. Let me point out another thing that blows my brains. You got a collaborator who is from a group of people that look at your product like it's a joke. They laugh at you. They've been mocking you for years, looking down their nose at your product and saying that it's garbage. And you finally got a collaboration with a person that's in that world, that's in that group with those people who look down on your brand, and you work with him and you show yourself in a way that makes all of them feel like they were correct the whole time. And somebody like him or myself that thought, give it some direction, give it a little more bass, tone down that treble, you'll widen your sales a little bit, it'll be more matching to more libraries, some people will pick this, or at least they'll recommend it, this is more suitable. The company has direction. The collaboration can be a phase that the company goes through to give it a little bit of boost in areas and with customers you might not have otherwise had, particularly with that other collaborator, and you blew it up. In December, you were stepping on the edge of a whole new world as a company, and you absolutely face-palmed the whole thing. And as you watched it start to unfold, you didn't do anything in your power to reach out to me anyway. Nobody has come out to me and said anything. We didn't do that. Oh, we're sorry about that. We're going to take care of this. We're going to whatever. I've heard nothing. When the idea for the collaboration came, you knew my mail. You sent it to me. You made a proposal. I agreed to the proposal. I fulfilled my end of the proposal. You started to fill yours, and then it came about that this is actually not the product that I thought I was retuning. It's not the product that people thought they were buying this month, last month, 4 months ago, a year ago. You've sold, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of gear that isn't even what it's supposed to be. And you're going to have people like this up your rear from here on out. And people like this right here, he's going to get my stuff all the time. I'm going to continue to do collaborations, and part of the process is going to be full disclosure. I want everything I say to be double checked. And for High Fry Audio, Jeffrey Fries, and for Delta Fry, forget KZ, they're not even in my brain right now. I'm done with them. I'm talking you guys. You guys have a unique moment in this hobby's history to find a niche for yourself and to permanently wedge yourself in there. If I were you, you got to build a firewall between yourself and the company. That is, if a company like KZ says, we're going to send it to you because we'd like you to take it apart, we'd like you to confirm, don't deal with them directly. You want to be like Consumer Reports and you want to get a retail version of any item, my item, this item, KZ, any company that's making any kind of claim or you think it's questionable, get it sent to somebody they don't know who that is. And then when you do a video or you make a claim, you can say, this is absolutely just like you would have bought. Nobody has any idea who I am. This was sent to somebody else. Do you understand what I'm saying? You have if I were you, this would be a big moment, because there's a lot of people now that want to have earphones opened up and tested and checked. And I'm going to send mine to you guys too. If I were you, Jeffrey Fries, I would make sure that I had somebody else that was buying this gear and it was sent to that other person. So if somebody comes in and says, how do you know they didn't fix up a nice one just for you, just for advertising, because they would go in any kind of way they could to get that extra money, send you a great set and then take care of that and then send whatever to everybody else. You could game the system and they could game you. So instead of waiting for that comment to come, get ahead of it. Set up a way where if they know who you are because they've sent samples before, switch it to a friend and then say, I want you to get my samples. Don't tell anybody else who that person is, and then that person passes to you. So if you got to wait an extra 4 days or whatever, that's fine. People will be waiting for your confirmation, for your pure set that is retail. It was sent to somebody that's a rando or normie and they have no idea. If they send it to you knowing who you are, that kind of defeats the purpose of what you're doing, which is confirming for the public that something is what it's supposed to be. And let's go back to the fact that this whole thing is totally ridiculous, that this has to happen, that there has to be parenting in the hobby to make sure that the products promised are the products delivered. It's absolutely bonkers. Okay, ghetto edit. KZ DQ6s, please take it down. I don't endorse it or support it. I don't like my name is on it. I'm not part of the rehabilitation of your company from this point forward. The best that you can do is fulfill your basic obligation, and that is have a multiple driver set, actually use multiple drivers. That's what you've created for yourself. That the best point in your future is when somebody confirms that 3 drivers in an earphone are actually doing their job. That's going to be a big bravo moment for you. I'm off to bigger and better things. I want to deal with companies that look at this hobby differently than you do, and it's not even something to really discuss any further, is it? So I'm out. I hope this set is taken down soon. I'm going to contact the company privately. I don't know how far that's going to go because they've not said anything to me since this whole thing started to unravel, and saying it publicly puts it on the record. The other video has been taken down so nobody accidentally stumbles into purchasing the set. If you like the set and you bought it, I'm happy for you. I'm sorry for the hassle that you've got. If you want to get your money back, contact them. That should be what's going on actually already. Should have started days ago. It hasn't. I'm out. This is it. Last KZ vid that I ever do on my channel, unless it's a single driver set, because I don't need to worry about opening up a set and confirming that the drivers work as a basic part of my review. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely nuts. I'm going to leave that to the Delta Fries and the Jeffrey Fries and the Acros, because I think they enjoy doing that. That's cool. That's not what I'm here for. I want to enjoy music. I'm not double checking. I'm not parenting a company that makes millions of dollars a year. This is bonkers. I'm out.